good evening, viewers, and thank you for tuning in to the NILEcast on your West Nile Television, where we give you the daily news bulletins of the day, every day from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. My name's Okumaringa Christine. Before we dive into any of the stories this evening, let's have a look at what's happening in the headlines tonight. In the headlines tonight, family of teenager allegedly murdered by prison officers demand for justice. Partnership on Accountability, Civic Engagement and Rights project launched in the West Nile region. And Chinese driver on the run over fatal accident on Pakwach Nebi Highway. This and more in the NILEcast News Bulletin. A very good evening, viewers, and thank you for tuning in to the NILEcast on your West Nile Television. Let's dive straight into the stories that have made headlines tonight. Family members of the late Afeku Alex, a 17-year-old resident of prison cell under Arua Central Division, Arua City, who is alleged to have been murdered by prison officers attached to Arua Government Prison, are demanding for justice of their son, who died on the 3rd of September 2024. Farish Majid reports.
Family members of late Afeku Felix, a 17-year-old resident of prison cell under Central Division Arua City, who is alleged to have been murdered by prison officers attached to Arua Government Prison, are demanding for justice for their son, who died on the 3rd of September 2024. This was after the incident that happened in the wee hours of Tuesday this week, where it is alleged that the late Afeku, who developed a complication from ulcers in the night, had requested his brother, identified as Andruga Gerald, a 20-year-old with whom they sleep in a saloon, to accompany him to fetch water from a nearby well to take medication. It is from here that the two met the alleged officers who were doing night patrol, and Ruga narrated the ordeal to which they were subjected to by the alleged officers, who accused them of being thieves and responsible for stealing their food crops from their garden. Vuni Venson Yandu, a brother of the deceased, explains that the case of murder and torture has already been opened up against the officers.
We decided to register a case against the prison wardens. Why did they take law into their hands? This water point has stayed there for more than 72 years. People are drinking that water. Why did you decide to kill just because of water? And again, in other terms, they say water is life.
Similarly, Azama Samuel, an uncle to the deceased, says that his nephew was innocently murdered, and as a family they will continue seeking for justice.
There's nothing much that we are going to say because we have already lost. And life once lost cannot be regained. But what is remaining is we want true justice. And this justice must prevail. As family members, we shall be satisfied if the life of my son helps to serve justice in this community in Arua City.
Inspector of Police Matua Alfred Tokira, the community liaison officer for Central Division with Uganda Police, implored those with information in relation to the incident to report to police to aid in investigations into the matter.
Have some small information, please give it. Hata mutual your police ni kini hiyo zaman ni awara ni chi ba kinga diachi iduba number ale tero mimi tiyo de luzominera police imamura.
Meanwhile, Kumaket Salim, the resident city commissioner of Arua City, calls for calm as the matter is being investigated, as he also asks for individual responsibility in dealing with the issue.
The Uganda prisons that we know has been an institution that respects human rights. It has been an institution that has been promoting human rights. So I would be hesitant to think that it is the same institution that promotes and protects human rights is the one again being accused to abuse human rights. I want us to remove the name of the prisons out of this. If it is an individual person within the institution, then we should treat that as an individual mistake.
Honorable Muzaid Kemis, the Mayor for Central Division, calls for thorough investigation into the matter so as to regain public trust, since this is not the first time a similar incident is happening in the area.
The trust that the people are going to have on us will be when this investigation is put into logical manner. Otherwise, next time it will be very difficult for the community to believe in us. But I want to thank the people of prison cell to be calm. You know why the tensions are low? This is almost the second alleged killing. The first one was during Eid Day. A young boy of 17 years was killed. I think why the community are raising eyebrows, there is no logical investigation that has been done to that.
Lenin Dori, who works with Uganda Prisons as the regional commander for West Nile Sub-Region, in an interview with journalists in Arua City, however, denied allegations of the force being responsible for the murder and torture claims. The body of the deceased Afeku Felix was today on 6th of September 2024 taken to the ancestral home in Abiri village, Ribo Sub-County, Madokolo district for burial, as the family waits for his killers to be brought to book. Farish Majid, West Nile TV, Nalcast.
And more on our stories in Arua district. The Denmark, Ireland, the Netherlands and Sweden have launched a 5-year West Nile partnership on accountability, civic engagement and rights project geared towards supporting interventions that take relevant importance of formal and community-led structures for promoting accountability, civil engagement and human rights in the West Nile region. Take a look.
It was a historic ordeal on the 4th September 2024 at Hotel Confidential in Arua City, where the 4 ambassadors to Uganda for Denmark, Ireland, Netherlands and Sweden launched a 5-year project-dubbed Partnership on Accountability, Civic Engagement and Rights project, a West Nile partnership with a civil society organization and government agencies to promote accountability, civic engagement and rights as a way to support Uganda's democratization process and sustainable development. This event was graced by West Nile representative of the non-government agencies, local governments, members of parliament and other stakeholders, whom together with the 4 development partners launched this historic partnership geared towards supporting interventions that take relevant importance of the formal and community-led structures for promoting accountability, civic engagement and human rights in the West Nile region. Honorable Alfredo Konji, the LC5 chairman Arua district, in his remarks stated that the launch of this partnership will address the community's concern on corruption, as corruption undermines and frustrates development efforts.
We are launching a 5-year project to promote accountability, civic engagement and rights called PESA project. PESA project. We are very proud of it. This project is going to simplify our work and make it very easy for us. And democracy calls upon the people who elected us to clamor for good governance practices that promote transparency and accountability. The project will address community concern of corruption in Uganda. Much as the efforts have been made to cut down corruption in Uganda, numerous high level of corruption which are systematic and I must say mature and also sophisticated corruption scandals continue to surface and are endemic in this country, in this region.
The Deputy Ambassador of the Embassy of Ireland, Jill Clement, stated that this partnership will facilitate NGOs, government and citizens to work together to plan, discuss, coordinate and harmonize respective action and contribution to development in Uganda.
There's overwhelming evidence that an actively engaged civil society has a key role to play in championing human rights, strengthening civic engagement, and realizing the development gains of accountability. Without those ingredients, we can't progress. Because these decisions that we make, the work that we're doing here today, affects people's lives day in and day out. Ireland, absolutely, as do the other partners that are involved in this program, we really prioritise reaching the furthest behind and leaving no one behind. And I think we all see that that can only add value to the work that we do into the quality of our own lives. Whether that's climate and environment action, gender equality, our collective efforts will contribute to a just and sustainable development.
The Dutch ambassador, Her Excellency Frederik Quispel, stated that the commitment to civil society is a commitment to progress. Therefore, by empowering civil societies, it will foster a culture of transparency, justice and peace in Uganda.
Our collective vision, I guess I can say, is to contribute to inclusive, sustainable and democratic societies, communities where every single citizen has the opportunity to participate and to benefit from the nation's development. I'm confident that with our combined efforts of everyone here today, we can have a profound impact. We can strengthen together the fabric of this society, enhance civil engagement and protect human rights that are fundamental to every individual's well-being.
The head of cooperation of the Embassy of Sweden, Adam Kasai Rudbeck, in his remarks stated that by fostering accountability, civic engagement and human rights, this partnership is reinforcing the universal principles of democracy and justice.
Poverty is not just about lack of material resources, but about the lack of freedom, choice and political power. And we strongly believe, based on our own experience, that democratic and socio-economic development requires citizen participation to drive change and ensure accountable government. And on this basis, efforts to support, defend and sustain the work of civil society are fundamental in Swedish foreign policy and Swedish engagement to promote global development. And through these new partnerships in West Nile, we stand united among the Forum as partners in our belief that lasting change begins with empowered communities. By fostering accountability, civic engagement and human rights, we're not only supporting Uganda's progress, but also reinforcing the universal principles of democracy and justice.
The Danish ambassador, Excellency Saini Winding Albjag, while officially launching the West Nile Partnership on Accountability, Civic Engagement and Rights project, stated that this 5-year partnership will contribute towards meaningful and strong cooperation between the state and non-state actors as well as citizens to improve the accountability to the population.
Appreciate the dialogue and the guidance we have enjoyed with local government and civil society already here in West Nile. I'm very sure that these type of interactions will help ensure that the partnerships that we are working on together are as locally grounded and as strong as possible. So at this juncture, I just want to conclude by expressing my gratitude to the government of Uganda, the district and city leadership of Arua, and all the leaders in District of West Nile. And with these words, I officially launch the new partnerships. Thank you.
This historic event marked the partnership of Denmark, Ireland, the Netherlands and Sweden with the West Nile civil society organizations and local government agencies that will aim at strengthening the capacity of specific duty bearers, strengthen participation of citizen and civil society organizations, and improve access to information on rights and civic education in the West Nile region. Okumuringa Christine, Nusura Gramia, West Nile TV, Nilecast.
And more in our stories. Residents in the vicinity of Tidwell Village, Padwot Sub-County, Nebi District are expressing distress over the unnecessary habits of Chinese railway drivers working on the rehabilitation of Alwi-Nebi Highway. Take a look.
Residents in the vicinity of Tidwell Village, Padwot Sub-County, Nebi District are expressing distress over the unnecessary habits of China Railway 18 drivers working on the rehabilitation of Alwi-Nebi Highway. The residents claim that the truck drivers have persistently engaged in causing accidents to both pedestrians and cyclists. This follows a fatal accident where a 21-year-old Oyirot Agnes, resident of Namrodo Selne municipality, was killed by a roller truck, registration number UBM 137L, at Tidwell Village, Padwot Sub-County, Nebi District. The incident happened on 5th September 2024, and the deceased was an employee of the company but met his death while on duty. Alfred Tumito, the father to the deceased, narrated how he came to learn about the demise of his son. Tumito father said the truck driver, who is at large after knocking the deceased, he made a reverse gear to completely kill his son.
Mistake pa ngado be kati ku machine bien kite mare pone tunu ko bango winju ni eti ngate ma esha ko tish podi manda wuru eni ingish para gira no ngoni esha o mako be ngate ma podi be eti mutish pikare malasha keshango dong to ko nyatene edi mushino magwe.
Sylvester Okwairot, an eyewitness, said he heard the sound of the storming vehicle and later realized that there was an accident. He added that after the accident, the driver, who is yet to be identified, took off from the scene.
Accident any etimere ebedu ka duberinge ma jaratish echa shugurwango ebedi ngeye ebedu ka kaneno ngoro la ikala kala nen yo penyo rola cha bedu ka diru be ka dubu yo pen dugi ngere reverse and then rola cha gamu unyone cha game podu pen usame podu pen e game monte kintiende neno dano gamu binu bedu ka kok ka do driver cha neno ngo usame neno ngo ji ba yori ngere gam duote e bedu ka temo ka sendre nya jutinge to gam tere odiyat.
However, Martin Awene, the public relations officer, China Railway 18, confirmed about the incident, describing it as unfortunate as the deceased died at a younger age. Awene calls for strict rules to be imposed on the errant drivers of the Chinese Railway 18 company working on the road, despite several harms put to reduce overspeeding on the road under construction.
It was yesterday, around midday, when I received a call from our administrator, who is a Chinese. He called me that there's an accident which occurred in kilometer 24. When he called me, I came to office, then I went up to the scene. But by the time when I was reaching there, the victim had already been taken to the hospital, because the safety officer got first-hand information, rushed the scene, then picked him, took him to the hospital. And what I did as the public relations officer, I informed the OC traffic of maybe to come and ascertain what was the cause of the accident.
The Chinese company for long faced criticism from the local community for their perceived failure to complete, particularly for pedestrians and cyclists who frequently find themselves entangled in accidents within the area. Reports from Navy Police indicate that the body has been conveyed to Navy General Hospital for postmortem. Alfred Jawok, West Nile TV, Nile Cast.
And more in our stories. The residents of Koboko Yumbe Moyo district can rejoice as the road construction of the 103.08 kilometer Koboko Yumbe Moyo Road and Bridges project, upgrading the current gravel road to paved bituminous standard, will commence towards the end of September 2024. Take a look. The residents of Koboko Yumbe and Moyo districts now have a reason to rejoice as construction of the 103.08 kilometer Koboko Yumbe Moyo Road and Bridges project is set to finally commence towards the end of September 2024. Under the project that for long failed to commence, leaving the residents in shock, the current gravel road will be upgraded with the hope of making it easy for the movement of goods and services in the West Nile districts. This was revealed during the press briefing with the representatives of the Uganda National Roads Authority, Zongmei Engineering Group Limited, at the Project Implementation Unit office in Koboko District recently. Engineer Alex Otim, the project manager of the Uganda National Roads Authority, stated that the reason for the delay to the commencement of the upgrading of the 103.08 kilometer Koboko-Yumbe Moyo Road is due to the delay in complying towards the covenants set by the World Bank.
Generally, as I've told you, that management of World Bank projects, donor-funded projects generally, you have to first come up with all those covenants that you signed. You should first comply to them before you start anything. Among those covenants, we said before we start anything, we should make sure that the environment, social issues, and management plans and impacts, the documents required should first be approved by the bank or no objection by the bank. So that is what is actually keeping the road not to start as yet. We are in a back and forth. I would like to congratulate the country office of the bank. They have been very helpful, because immediately we developed those documents, which is just 3 weeks behind. We have already got an approval of one of them, though with some conditions, but the conditions are not so stringent. That is what is called the contractor's environment and social management plan. It has been approved with the conditions. What does it mean? It means that along the road, activities can begin.
Engineer Otim also noted that there has been a significant delay in the commencement of the road construction, which has affected the project implementation period, though he's optimistic that the work will begin end of September 2024.
There are delays which have occurred, and the delays have affected the project implementation period. Right from procurement, right from conception of the project, it has affected. And we are having the grant period until December 2025. I would, at this point in time, say that we have actually 1 year of implementation, because what I see is that this remaining few months, we might have just started. The real work will catch up, like January, if I'm to be realistic. Of course, we will start. I'm optimistic at the end of September. I'm optimistic because those two plans, even the bank sees it, that it should start, it should be approved. So with that time, we have taken an approach that we need to have several fronts so that we can work within the time frame. Definitely, you can see the time frame is very short. A road like this, you cannot finish it in 1 year. We have also already hinted to the bank that we will need extension, because the delays that have been occurring, you can see them, they are really delays which are not apportionable as a blame. These are delays that are in line with the stringent conditions that you have given us. If it was not those stringent conditions, we would be far much ahead. So since we are complying, and you know, to comply, it takes a back and forth, writing this letter, giving a comment, this report, then change like that. That means there is time going. That precious time which has gone between the two of us. So please, we will need some time. But you see, you cannot need too much time. So we have to also be cognizant of the fact that we will need to expedite, so that the time that we are going to ask for is not going to be another like 3 years. It will be unrealistic.
The 103.08 kilometer project traverses through the districts of Koboko-Yumbe and Moyo, linking the region of the Democratic Republic of Congo border at Oraba, Vura and Goli, as well as South Sudan at Oraba and Afoji. The World Bank extended a grant of US dollars 130.8 million to the government of Uganda to strategically address the transport challenges affecting the refugee hosting communities in the West Nile region. Though the project period is set to end in December 2025, Uganda National Roads Authority and the contractor are optimistic to commence the road construction towards the end of September 2024. Okomuringa Christine, Farish Majid for West Nile Television, Nilecast. And more in our stories. Police in Nebi district are investigating circumstances under which an identified man, aged 36-year-old, was killed in Jupako village, Jupangira Sub-County, Nebi District, in an incident which occurred on Thursday, the 5th of September 2024. Take a look.
Police in Nebi District are investigating circumstances under which an unidentified man aged 36 years was killed in Jopako village, Jopangira Sub-County, Nebi District. The incident happened on Thursday, 5th September this year after the victim was suspected to have stolen a Bajaj motorcycle from Goli Customs. Senior Superintendent of Police Philbert Wahibi, District Police Commander Nebi, confirms that the body was discovered dumped in a valley near Jupangira Sub-County headquarters. According to Waibi, the deceased is suspected to have been killed by an angry mob over an allegation of theft. Police have launched investigations into the matter.
One yet to be identified person allegedly stole a motorcycle, and he moved from that point around the Goli border, and then was coming towards this side of Nebi town. It was unfortunate. The people, unknown people, were able to chase after him, and he was not able to survive. Through mob action, they were able to kill him.
He advises border riders not to take laws into their hands but be vigilant and report such cases to police for action.
Only I want to call upon our people of Nebi and surrounding areas that once we have such information, let's quickly work together and we see how we can bring those people to book. But for us taking the law into our hands and we decided to kill, to do extrajudicial killings is not good, and it's really condemned. It's condemned really.
Nebi District Criminal Investigation officers from the Homicide Department rushed to the scene to ascertain the facts. By the time of filing this story, the body of the deceased was taken to Nebi General Hospital mortuary, waiting for his relatives to claim the body. This is the third incident of such nature in Nebi District since this month began. Alfred Jawok, West Nile TV, Nilecast.
And more in our stories. Over hundreds and thousands of mourners gathered on Wednesday, the 4th of September 2024, to pay their last respects to the late Luka Akile Fenduru from Aliba, Olaba clan. Osuta Yusuf reports.
Born in 1930, Mr. Luka Akile Fenduru was shot with an arrow on 19th of August 2024 during a land conflict in Bolomoni village, Odrav West Sub-County in Yumbe District, where some people from Oluba Lange clan in Arewa Sub-County and also from Kulikulinga Town Council are claiming part of his 600 acres of land in Bolomon village. The parish priest for Odravu Catholic Parish, Father Tom Amati Walter, preached for peace to reign and asked people to leave aside small differences that tend to divide and cause hatred.
To all dear brothers and sisters, that we are one people. We are all the image of God. The other things may come in, but they are secondary. We are here to preach peace. I gave you the example of Jesus. When he wanted to move to the village of Samaria, the Samaritans, the others said, no, let us not go that way. They are not ours. They are not our friends. Jesus said, no, we are one people. I'm not going to call for hell upon them, fire from heaven upon them.
Mr. Nguyo Bosco, a son to the deceased landlord, upon narrating the history of their 600 acres of land in Bolomon village as the legitimate owners, described his murdered father, Mr. Luka Akile Fenduru, as a kind, generous and a peaceful person throughout his entire life.
As a family, we have always been peaceful. From the word go, we are always prayerful, we are peaceful, we are forgiving. We do not have any case against them. If they come to us, we will forgive them. You know, when they come to us, we will always forgive them, and we are forgiving them. Like my father said, before even he passed on, said I've forgiven them because they don't know what they are doing. My father was a generous person. Like I said, he welcomed so many people to come and sit around him. He was giving, he was caring. He was a good parent. father figure to so many. So he raised so many grandkids and other extended families.
The Ringa Kingdom representative at the funeral, Mr. Aka Bran, communicated to the mourners and the conflicting parties the stand of the kingdom as far as this land wrangle is concerned, stating that jailing people over the capital offences in this incident will not be the solution, but rather dialogue, peace and reconciliation will bring sanity.
Ijo government of the Jijora Radisidu Sigafira, Ajuji Babera, Akoma Iri, Andra Manjora Disinere, Ijo the Airwa is our one Jakanaro Badaka, Chokiro Zakonico, Amamuka Zakon, my Badaka, my baby Lori, Amaji, Nigotuki. Adrichi Joe, Elder Kitty Joe, Lara.
Superintendent of Police Stephen Ojok, who is the OC station for Yumbe district, said they have deployed security officers in the area and also engaged residents in some brief community baraza to sensitize and ask them to live in harmony.
It was on the 19th when we had a very tragic incident where there was a tribal clash, conflict over the same piece of land. And an elder in the family had died and they wanted to bury that elder, but it was on a contested land and the issue was in court. So there was misunderstanding where youth fought and people were injured and people died. From that day, one person died, and after the incident, 3 people died from that clash. And today we're witnessing the burial of the last person, who happened to be a museum of over 90 years, and is the landlord who even offered the land to the refugees in this area. Now, as security from that time up to now, we made sure there is no more clash. We deployed heavily, jointly with police and UPDF. And from that time up to now, there is no any more conflict, no any more clash. We have been having a lot of community engagement with the 2 parties.
Following the bloody land conflict where 2 people from Oluba Langi clan were killed and 1 person from Oluba Aliba clan was also killed, the concerned stakeholders, including the RDC, the DISO, the politicians, the police, the Ringa Kingdom and the clergies, have scheduled 12th of September 2024 for a comprehensive dialogue, land dispute resolution and reconciliation between the 2 clans. Yusuf Osuta, West Nile Television, Nilcast.
My name is Oraku Benson Pastore. This is West Nile Television. The program is Nilecast, but I am coming up with what is happening in the world of sports. As I speak right now, there is a game going on in AFCON qualifiers between Uganda Cranes and South Africa. But before we talk about more of the stories, let's first kickstart with what is happening within the region of West Nile. It's all about the health institutional ball games at the national level, which had been for 7 days, finally climaxing today. And let's have the highlights of how things transpired in the closing ceremony.
The 1-week National Health Institutional Ball Games that has been hosted by Aro School of Comprehensive Nursing and Midwifery final concluded today, 6th of September 2024, with the awarding ceremony. In the final results and in the famous sporting discipline, Fort Portal College of Health Science were crowned as the champions of boys football, defeating Gulu College of Health Education, whereas Ngora Hospital School of Nursing emerged champions of ladies football, defeating Florence Nightingale School of Nursing, including the winners of the other sporting activities. Therefore, leaders of the winners have shared their gratitude, more so other stakeholders have shared their concerns.
Now we are proud of being champions. Things have not been easy as such, but with the favor of our God, the institution, for their continuing support, plus the support from our coaches, we have managed today to be national champions again, as we have been doing it before. Even last time we were the champions, and now we are very happy to defend our trophy back.
I'm called by the name Skia Raquel, team captain of Ngora Hospital School of Nursing and Midwifery. It has been so long we have been waiting for this, and we have been beaten like 3 years in finals, but this time around we have managed to take that trophy, and we are very, very happy for this. And we promise there is no school that will take that trophy back from us.
I'm called Cesar Akram from Ginger School of Nursing and Midwifery, found in Ginger Town. We won Your Hams, and we are the champions of netball, Ginger School of Nursing. We have a trophy, the nationals for health institutions in Uganda, the edition of 2022. And we feel so happy because we have that trophy. As you see our smiles,
we are not only focusing in academics, but it is the Ministry of Education, Skilling, Sports and Talent Identification. You are here because we know the importance of sports. It is through sports that we keep physically fit. It is through sports that we eliminate the non-communicable diseases that you know. It is through sports that we build social network. Today you have made lots of friends in Arua, all the way from Fort Portal, from Soroti, from Kabale, from all over the country. That is the way to go. You support one another, we build solidarity, and we build a greater social network. It is through sports that we earn money. Sports bring money. It brings funds. Some of you can get awards through scholarship because of your talents. Some of you can bring money to the schools, to the country because of sports. Finally, sports make visibility of our country.
And one of the ways of making us to come together as a people in this country is through games and sports. And I want to thank you, all the participants, for displaying this spirit while here. We wish you eternal mercies, and please continue to exercise and continue to be good sportsmen and women to continue promoting the image of this country.
Different health institutions participated in numerous sporting disciplines such as football, chess, mweso, volleyball, handball, athletics, badminton, basketball, and among others, and all for boys and girls. Therefore, the next edition for these ball games shall be hosted by Hoima City. Oraku Benson Pastore, West Nile Television, Alka Sports.
Welcome back. Getting to the other story straight away to the ongoing African Cup of Nations qualifiers games that are currently going on. Before I give you how things are transpiring in the game between South Africa and Uganda, earlier on a game was played between Kenya and Zimbabwe, and that game ended 0-0. And South Africa currently is leading Uganda by a goal to nil. DRC is leading Guinea by a goal to nil. Meanwhile, there is a game currently going on between Togo and Liberia, also a barren draw, and later on Gabon will take on Morocco. Egypt welcomes Cape Verde. Mali, meanwhile, will be locking horns with Mozambique. And lastly, Senegal will have to test the hostility of Burkina Faso at home. And yesterday, Tunisia managed to edge out Madagascar by a goal to nil. Algeria were 2-0 winners over Equatorial Guinea. And Angola surprised the world by edging out Ghana at home by a goal to nil. And Congo had a narrow win over South Sudan, beating them by a goal to nil. Meanwhile, for Burundi, they edged out Malawi by 3-2. For Central African Republic, there were 3-1 winners over Lesotho. And lastly, in the game played yesterday was between Eswatini and Guinea-Bissau, and Guinea-Bissau won the game by a goal to nil. And also in the Nations League, remember, games are also going on. Kazakhstan right now is in a barren draw with Norway, and Lithuania also with Cyprus still a barren draw. And then later Israel will take a trip to Belgium. In fact, they're already in Belgium, and France takes on Italy, the biggest game, and Romania meanwhile will be having a date with Kosovo. For Austria, they are traveling away to Slovenia, and Iceland meanwhile is welcoming Montenegro, and lastly Wales will be locking horns with Turkey. Let's finalize everything with some of the trending stories here and there. The biggest story today is all about San Marino winning after 2 decades, after 20 years against Liechtenstein, beating them by a goal to nil. I mean, the last time San Marino won a game was in 2004. And yesterday in Nations League, they managed to edge out Liechtenstein by a goal to nil. And also the last time they won a game was also against Liechtenstein by same scoreline. That means the exact history of 2004 repeated itself yesterday. San Marino, after so many games, 20 years, winning the game by a goal to nil. And also, in more of the stories, like I said earlier on, today is more of history in international sports. Cristiano Ronaldo scored his 900th goal. That's Cristiano Ronaldo for you against Croatia. Also in Nations League, the game ended by 2 goals to nil. Now, in summary, he has scored 68 goals for Al Nassr. For Juventus, he banked 101 goals. Meanwhile, for Manchester United, he scored 145 goals. For Portugal, his nation, he has so far scored 131. And for Real Madrid, he scored 450 goals. And for Sporting Lisbon, where he started his career, he scored 5 goals. In total, he has now scored 900 goals. And his target is to score 1,000 goals, and he is left with 100 goals to make his target of 1,000 goals. And let's close the chapter there. We'll link up again tomorrow.
Thank you, Rocco Benson Pastore, for that sports news and that sports highlight. Viewers, we have come to the end of the Nilecast on Yon West Nile Television. Thank you always for taking the time to be with us from the beginning of the Nilecast to the end of the Nilecast on Yon West Nile Television. Please stay tuned to the rest of the subsequent programs that will follow. My name is Okumaringa Christine. Have a good evening.